Hello, my lovely people. Hello, friends. Welcome back. Oh God, I hate making intros. So, yes, it's been a while. It's been a while since I recorded, and it's been a while since I posted, like 4 days ago. God damn. I'm very, very sorry. I know my schedule is pretty inconsistent because I have school and there's a lot of schoolwork to do, and these videos make me I make them or edit them for like a day, and knowing that school is a whole day and the only time that I'm free is in the afternoon, that is maybe around 4 or it's almost evening. So yes, it's been a while since I've recorded a video and my English is kind of rusty, but hey, I'm gonna start recording and we're back with a green screen, you know what I'm saying. So if you guys want to see last video, whoa, what's happening? If you want to see last video, it's going to be in the description down below. If you want to see this video, it's going to be in the description down below too, and our part 1 of Rabid, the Chris Benoit story, is going to be description down below. And this is Adolf Hitler in World War I, who did what in World War I by the Great War. So I'm starting to love their channel. It's been like a while since I recorded a video, and while I was not making a video, I was actually watching some of their videos, and I'm kind of interested on watching more. And now we're coming back with their who did what in World War I series that they made. So here is about Adolf Hitler, so the mustache man, you know. Yeah, so let's hold on, I'm just checking my volume. Okay, let's go, guys.
Adolf Hitler lacked leadership ability, or he was a cowardly soldier, or his personality and his ideology have their origins here, or he was an excellent soldier. I'm talking about things people have said about Adolf Hitler's time served in World War I, and they are many.
I'm sorry, I'm just fixing the goddamn
Many
quality.
and conflicting. The simple fact is that Hitler was stationed at the front from nearly the beginning of the war until nearly the end of the war.
Oh.
He himself called it the best time of his life.
Wow. Yo, imagine being deployed in a battlefield and it's this scary war that your country started. Not really. Austria-Hungary actually started it, but your country, let's just say, started, and they just placed you in like the battlefield. There's gonna be gunfire, battles, and you called that moment the best thing in your life. That's crazy.
I'm Indy Nidell, and welcome to
Hello,
another
Indy.
Great War episode of Who Did What in World War I. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889 in Braunau am Inn in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. His father, Alois Hitler, was a customs officer, and his mother, Clara Pötzl, was Alois' third wife. Hitler's father adopted the name of his stepfather, and it's still a mystery who Hitler's grandparents and ancestors were, though in his later years, Hitler spared no pains in designing an extensive pedigree for the public. Adolf grew up with his step-siblings Alois Jr. and Angela and his younger sister Paula. His father was transferred several times during Adolf's childhood, so the family moved as well, from Groß-Schellnau to Passau and then to Linz. Adolf struggled in middle school in Linz, and a stubborn and defiant behavior marked his school days. Alois Hitler died when Adolf was only 14. Now, Hitler tried another boarding school, but his grades were still poor, and actually, he had to repeat 2 years of school in total, finally dropping out and
Yeah, we learned about like Adolf Hitler's life in the start, like before this megalomaniac dictatorship, or even before World War II. We learned about him in Oversimplified, and if you want to see that series, it's going to be in the description down below. It's a 2-part series.
returning to Linz in 1905. We're not entirely certain what young Adolf did in Linz. We know he posed as an educated artist while living off his half-orphan pension from his father's death, but it's not very specific. In 1907, he traveled to Vienna to apply for the Academy of Fine Art, but he failed the entrance exam and returned home. Though when his mother died in December of that year, he left Linz for good and moved to Vienna. Again, the following year, he failed the Academy's entrance exam. He lived off of his now full orphan's pension, though, without a permanent residence, and posed as an art student. A year before the war, in 1913, he settled abroad in Munich, Germany. He may have been trying to avoid the Austrian draft, but that failed, for in January 1914, a policeman took him into custody and brought him to the Austrian consulate. He was declared unfit for military service, though, at a medical exam in Salzburg, and he returned to Munich. Hitler later wrote that when the First World War broke out...
Well, okay, so many people are pointing out this is a young Hitler, but a YouTuber named Vlogging Through History actually debunked this, or people debunked this, that this is not actually real. If this is like Adolf Hitler doesn't have the square mustache, his infamous square mustache, at this time period, because he gained that infamous mustache when he is in power now, and this photo has just been debunked. I don't know when, but yeah.
He was so stunned by the enthusiasm of the German crowd's reaction to the public proclamation that he sank to his knees. He asked the following day if, even though he was a foreigner, he could enlist in the German army. The request was accepted, and on August 16th, he became a member of a Bavarian reserve regiment. 10 weeks of training followed. His regiment, called Regiment List, named after the commander, first saw action October 29, 1914, at the ongoing First Battle of Ypres. Now, this battle lasted for weeks and was a very bloody affair. Afterwards, in November, Hitler was promoted to corporal and was given an Iron Cross, though we don't know specifically why. It's quite likely that he won it for reliability, since he served mostly as a dispatch runner. Hitler strongly disapproved of the Christmas truce of 1914. The somewhat shy, ordinarily reserved...
Okay, so if you don't know the Christmas truce in 1914, it was this Christmas soccer ball game or football game that happened in Christmas in 1914. They were like in war with each other, like French, British, German, in the Western Front. Yeah.
Reserved soldier became a fanatic. Something like that cannot be at issue, he said, as German and British troops met in no man's land between the trenches and shook hands. Between March 1915 and September 1916, Hitler's regiment fought in the static warfare in the trenches of Formel. Now, they defended a front line about 2 kilometers long. After fighting in the Second Battle of Formel, Regiment List marched south and fought in the Battle of the Somme. Bark, Hitler took shrapnel in his thigh. He would not return to active duty till March 1917. His regiment was stationed near Vimy and during the summer at Ypres. In September, Hitler took a 2-week vacation in Berlin. As he returned, his regiment moved to Champagne. We're now in October 1917. Half a year later, in May 1918, Hitler gained a regimental diploma and a wound badge for his bravery. His regiment then fought in the Second Battle of the Marne. Actually, by this point, German victory did not seem unlikely. The two-front war was finally over, and Eastern troops were being moved west to mount new offensives. Still running dispatches, often under heavy fire, Hitler won another Iron Cross in August 1918. But the German offensives ground to a halt. On the 8th of August, the day German General Ludendorff called the Black Day of the German Army, the Allied powers counterattacked. At the end of August, Hitler was sent to Nuremberg for specialist training to become a telephone operator. He took a second vacation in the middle of September and spent his time in Berlin again. After he returned to the front lines, his regiment was defeated the night of October 14th, where an Allied gas attack left Hitler nearly blind in a field hospital. His sight began to return in November.
His sight began to return in like the military hospital in Peswak. And while I watched this Netflix series. You gotta watch it. It's actually about how to be a dictator. it's a fun series. I kind of liked it, and in their first episode, they talked about how to rise and gain power, and the person that they used in that episode was actually Adolf Hitler, and they said that when Adolf Hitler used this story, so that he will be like this huge, he's a big deal, like after he was blinded by a gas attack, when he was in a military hospital. The reason why his sight came back because of he saw his meaning, he saw his purpose in life, like and they shown this animation where Adolf was like crying, and he saw like this the swastika symbol just showing up. It's weird, and it's propaganda. Okay, it's propaganda so that it makes Adolf Hitler a big deal in Germany. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I actually just learned that from a Netflix series, and that is actually about how to be a dictator, and you should probably check it out too. It's actually a fun series.
November, but still not even enough to read a newspaper. He was crushed by the German defeat in the war and what he considered the infamous Treaty of Versailles. But a big thing was that he now lost the feeling of unity, of belonging he had during the war. He later spoke of his service as, quote, unforgettable and the greatest time of his earthly life, end quote. After the war, Hitler still was kind of a loner with only a few friends and acquaintances. The people who got to know him described him as quiet and serious, but also volatile. His biographies picture him as someone who never fully fit into the civil world and only found some sort of salvation in war. His life had been directionless, but he had gained respect and found a new home in his regiment. And since no job waited for him back home, remaining in the army almost suggested itself. Let's play it out. As Hitler hears about the German Revolution at the end of the war, he is indignant. He sees it as a betrayal of everything he believed in and fought for, and he searches for an explanation and people to blame. His racist and anti-Semitic mindset slowly becomes an ideology. Years later, he would state that he had blamed the Jews for the German defeat during World War I.
Yeah, he started blaming the Jews, the communists. It's just racist ideologies. This is
Hitler stays in the army and leaves for Munich, and this is where we leave you, since what came next is not in our purview. But how do you feel the years at the front?
That doesn't make sense. They're gonna end it there because, you know, now after like World War One, they're gonna maybe talk about like the World War II stuff, and they're not gonna talk about it. This is actually a World War One series, so yeah.
May have changed and shaped Hitler and his beliefs. What would his
yeah, it's just that man is evil. Okay, that man is pure evil, no doubt about it, and it's just hey. So that's Adolf Hitler in World War One. Okay, that was a interesting one. Wow. Oof. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and next video may actually be another part in the Pacific War series, because it's been a while since we posted an episode in the Pacific War. So goodbye.